Welcome back to another Keystone and More podcast. Nick, we're finally able to make a new video. I am down in Houston. That's the last thing that's happened to me. Nick, big things have happened with you with baseball, but it's now getting to the point. It's August. It's camp time. It's finally football time. Nick, we're gonna go through each and every schedule, and we're gonna predict which teams are projected to win, who are they gonna lose to, and we're gonna give our opinions of why.
Sounds good to me. So I think we should probably start off in the AFC East. Just kind of go AFC East, North, South, and West, and then do the same thing in the NFC. So I think I think last place in the. I gotta look up their schedule so we can talk a little more in depth. But I think last place in the AFC East is going to be the Miami Dolphins. I believe they're going to go. I don't know their schedule right now, because I can't pull it up. But
I
I
have it
would say
up
they're
with.
going to go like 2-14. It sounds a little crazy. I understand it, but you have a rookie coach in Brian Flores. He has a difficult rebuilding job. The Dolphins have been depleted of much of their talent, especially on the O and D lines, and you have two like not great quarterbacks, and in Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh Rosen. Um, Miami needs to play really bad so they can get that high draft pick, which is something they badly need right now. They need to pick up some help. They need to pick up some talent. For whatever reason, whenever I type in Miami Dolphins, I'm getting their. I'll look at their schedule so we can just talk about the Dolphins and why I think they're going to go
Uh,
two.
Yeah, so you said that you're gonna go two and whatever. I have the schedule pulled up, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think one of the wins is gonna be against the Patriots in Miami. I think that it just happens to have. That's just one of their wins that always comes. The New England just can't play down into Miami. I think that's gonna be one of their wins. I think another one of the gonna be their wins is gonna be against the Redskins. I don't think. Whoever gonna be is gonna be at quarterback for the Redskins isn't gonna be healthy enough. The defense is pure garbage. I'm gonna give that game to the Dolphins.
Yeah, or the Bengals. They can easily go 3-13. Maybe with the win against the Bengals and the Redskins. But I don't see them winning any games in the road.
No,
I don't see any of their road games being winnable. They have to go to New England, which is a loss in the Meadowlands. That should be tough.
twice. Two
That's
middle lanes going
two
twice to
Meadowlands
lanes.
back-to-back weeks in the cold. I don't see them winning in the cold. Going to Cleveland in the cold, and Cleveland's pretty good. Going to Indianapolis by the time Andrew Luck's healthy. Going to Pittsburgh, not going to win. Going to Buffalo, I don't think they'll win that. Maybe they split with Buffalo. Maybe they'll win the home game. But and going to Dallas, I don't see them winning unless maybe Zeke's not playing still. Then I could see them maybe not playing. Yeah. So right now, I still think they're going to go 2-14. Maybe look for 3-13.
Yeah, I can agree with that. For the second to last place in this division, I'm giving it. I'm gonna give it to Buffalo.
Me too. I'm going to give it to Buffalo too.
Um, and their schedule, if you look at it, it's not the hardest schedule in the world. Obviously you got the Jets, you got their teams, and then you got the Bengals, you have the Eagles, you got to play the Redskins. They're playing the NFC East and the AFC North this year. So they obviously got the Ravens, you got the Cowboys. You do get the Patriots, but they will most likely lose twice too. They'll play the Titans, which I can easily see a loss. Bengals, I could see a win. Giants, I again they're back to back in the Meadowlands against the Giants and the Jets. But I don't. Maybe they can. Browns will be tough. I can maybe see a Ravens win because they've had pretty good luck with against the Ravens. But I really don't see them winning a lot of games.
I see the Bills going like 5-11. They've really improved that O line and the skill positions around Josh Allen. Josh Allen in his second year. They have a rookie first round tackle, Ed Oliver, who was very good in college. Really though, I don't know how are they going to complement the running game, and they need more efficient passing from Josh Allen. Even though this is a rebuilding team, I think there's a lot of pressure. They went from a wild card team to 6-10. So there's definitely a lot of pressure in Buffalo right now on them and on Coach Sean McDermott. But I'd still probably go at like 5-11 for the Bills.
Yeah, I mean you got a pretty good running game. You have Frank Gore, LeSean McCoy. That's what's for me. It's a wide receiver game where you only have Cole Beasley coming back from the Cowboys, and Zach Jones, Robert Foster, Nick Easley, John Brown. And all of these guys, they're gonna have to step up if they want to make any noise in this AFC East or to the wild card spot.
Yeah. Second place in the AFC North for me is the Jets.
I agree with
And I
that.
actually think the Jets are going to have a pretty good year. I think they're going to go with 9-7, which, depending on what I when I look at some of the other teams, that might be a wild card spot. I doubt it, but it might be. The Jets have Adam Gase overseeing this offense. You have Sam Darnold with the addition of Le'Veon Bell. You have Quinnen Williams and C.J. Mosley on that front seven.
Robbie
But they also,
Anderson's coming back.
I think they're going to take a big jump from 4-12. They made some big upgrades over the offseason.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're going to be the team that will be in the hunt for a wild card. They're going to be they're if they're going to be a wild card, it'll be extremely hard to make one. But I can see them possibly sketching out a wild card spot. And this schedule, again, looking at it, is not the hardest in the world. I mean, obviously you got the Patriots twice, which will hurt you. You got the Jags, but they're not going to be as good this year. You got the Steelers. You obviously, honestly, if everything goes perfect for the Jets, you lose 3 games against the Patriots and the Steelers. But obviously, that's not going to be the case. Because you still got the
Yeah, they're not
Dolphins
going to go
twice.
13-3.
But this team is set up for a very good season this year.
Because they're gonna lose to the Eagles probably because don't they play in the
Oh,
NFC?
yeah, they do. All right, yeah,
So they're gonna lose to the Eagles.
and maybe the Cowboys.
No, I think they beat the Cowboys. Is that game in? Where's that game at?
That game. Give me a minute. It's scores. They're playing at home.
Oh yeah, I think the Jets at home. I think they beat the Cowboys. That right now only puts them at 12-4, but there's gonna be like 2 or 3 other losses in there.
Yeah,
They'll go to 9-7, 10-6 on a good day.
yeah. Obviously, then first place is going to be New England coming back from the Super
Yeah.
Bowl run. Looking at their schedule again, it's a pretty easy schedule. They got the Dolphins, which I see them losing to. They got the Giants easily that they're going to beat. The Browns are going to beat. The Cowboys.
I wouldn't be too positive about that Browns one. I'm liking the Browns this year. I think it's gonna be a really good game.
All right, I have a lot of things to say on the Browns right now.
I'm
Um,
very excited to talk about the Browns. Are probably that division will be the next one we cover. I'm very
yeah,
excited to talk about it.
Cowboys will be a win. The Chiefs. That's where I Patrick Mahomes went into Foxborough during the regular season. I forget if they came out. I think they came out with a loss. Um,
Last year, didn't they, last year I thought the Chiefs won. No.
Maybe I don't remember. I know they lost the AFC Championship. But that was obviously in Kansas City. But I think Patrick Mahomes is new and improved. I see them. I see the Patriots losing in Foxborough. Then they're playing the Texans. Oh, I can go to that game on a Sunday night. I can see them coming out with a win. So again, 12-4, 13
I
and
go
3.
13-3.
I can see them easily 13-3,
I
and
mean,
maybe
here's the thing. They lost not Grank. They lost Gronk and Trey Flowers,
yeah.
but they really reinforced themselves at running back and wide receiver.
They got Michael Bennett.
They're strong in that defensive seven. I think if you don't pick the Patriots to possibly repeat, that's kind of dumb. I mean, they're gonna get over this weak division with comfort, and they're one of the 2 or 3 teams that can win the AFC. But I don't know. I'm not sure if they're gonna repeat it. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. AFC North for us. Obviously, both of us are gonna go with the Bengals in last place.
Yeah. I don't know record wise yet, but I'll go check out their thing right now. Check out their schedule. But yeah, I'm definitely going with the Bengals in last place, no doubt. It's the first through third that I have a tough time with because each 3 of those teams, in my opinion, are going to be better than 500.
Yes. Excluding the Browns, yeah, and excluding the Bengals, and the Bengals don't have that easy of a schedule. They got the Seahawks, they got the Niners, you got the Rams, you got. I mean, obviously you got the Patriots. You got the Steelers twice, which that will be 2 losses. I can see them losing to the Niners. So this is a team that might be like the Dolphins and win 2 to 3 games.
2-3 games. I have to look at their schedule for whatever reason. It is not working on my phone right now.
But looking at the roster, I mean, you got Andy Dalton, and then you still got Tyler Boyd. You got AJ Green, who's.
I go with the Bengals at 4-12.
Okay.
Because I think the Bengals, they. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, they have a new coach taking over Marvin Lewis. It's a proven season for Andy Dalton. You do have some proven playmakers there. You have Joe Mixon. If he can return, you have AJ Green. The O-line, they did lose their first round pick in Jonah Williams. That is a huge concern in my opinion. But you still have Geno Atkins in the defense. I mean, they started 4-1 last year, which I don't think many people remember. They just fell off the cliff. I think this is still a 4-12 team.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like their defense. That's the biggest thing for
Their
me.
defense concerns me.
That's the big like their offense is it's there. They're gonna produce points. That's fine. It's their defense that I don't like. They have holes in the secondary and in their defensive line.
Yeah, their defense definitely scares me. I'm not on that defense. I think the third place for me is gonna be the Ravens at 9-7.
All right.
I got the Ravens schedule, but I think 9-7 is pretty realistic for the Ravens.
All right. I'm giving it to the Browns 9-7. Not I don't know. Sorry, I don't know the schedule yet, but I'm giving it to the Browns in the second to last.
The Ravens will beat the Dolphins. They'll beat the Cardinals. Okay, let's look at their losses. I think they'll split with the Browns and they'll split with the Steelers. That's 2 losses off the bat. They'll lose in Seattle. They'll lose at home versus New England. They'll lose in LA against the Rams. And that's only 5. They'll lose that. I see them losing to the Texans at 6.
Yeah.
And throw in another loss maybe against Seattle.
I see them losing to the Niners.
The Niners, no. The Niners are not good. The Ravens are a very good team. I think the Ravens are good. They have a good quarterback. They're a good franchise. They know that.
Quarterback's not accurate, but yes.
He's actually, for a mobile quarterback, he's quite a good passer for a mobile quarterback, actually. For who he is, it's actually quite impressive that he's accurate as he is. I'll be watching the Ravens tonight because they're playing their team, Green Bay Packers in the preseason, so I will look at the Ravens.
I'm giving the Browns third place. I'm not saying the Browns are going to have a really crappy year. I think they're going to be over 500, and I think they're going to push for a playoff spot. Baker Mayfield didn't exceed expectations. He was average my expectations last year. He didn't go above and beyond what I thought he would be last year, and he didn't go below. I think, and that's going to be the same year. Yes, you're adding OBJ.
Baker Mayfield is a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's perfect for the city of Cleveland. He's a total partier.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my problem with Baker. He, in my opinion, I agree with you. He had an average year last year. You take out his stats for Cincinnati, and he's quite average.
Yep.
And here's the problem. This team loses on opening day, or they start off the year like 2-2. Guess what? OBJ is going to be calling Baker out. Baker's going to be calling OBJ out. There's going to be a lot of, those are 2 big personalities on the same side of the ball, and they'll be calling each other out if things don't go well for them early on. So that's the part that scares me for that team. But I think you're going to be a little annoyed at where I put Cleveland. But right now, I think Baltimore's in 3rd place, Cincinnati's in 4th.
I can see that. I mean, Baker with the addition to OBJ, now you have someone that you can actually throw to, but that doesn't mean you're going to get double coverage by OBJ. Obviously, which a lot of teams do. Jarvis Landry, he hurt his foot yesterday in practice. So he definitely should be back by week 1. I don't know if he's going to be the same again. But we both should agree now that Pittsburgh, my team, should win this division.
I disagree.
You don't agree that Pittsburgh will win this division?
I think Cleveland will win this division. I think Pittsburgh's
wow.
I think Pittsburgh's in 2nd place at 10-6.
I see.
Okay. Pittsburgh is losing Bell and Brown, which I think is addition by subtraction. I think it's the best case scenario for them. You have James Conner and Juju Schuster to fill those roles.
Mm-hmm.
The defense has to improve. They were 17th in the league in points allowed last year. Good thing is you have T.J. Watt and Cam Howard. They combined for 20 sacks last year. And I think Devin Bush does really fit in the Blitzburg thing. But I think the fact that I honestly think that, in my opinion, Cleveland winning the division, I think that's going to really motivate the Steelers. I'm kind of hoping that rekindles a little Pittsburgh-Steeler rivalry, which we haven't seen in forever, 30 years. But remember, we look at the Steelers' schedule. I think they lose to the Pats. I think they lose to the Seahawks.
Wow.
I think they split with the Ravens and the Browns. Lose to the Chargers. Actually, no. Give them the win versus the Seahawks. Give them the win versus the Seahawks at home. But they lose to the Pats, split with the Browns, split with the Ravens. Actually, you know what? Sweep the Ravens. I'll let them sweep the Ravens because they're a pretty tough schedule. Lose to the Chargers, though, the 3rd loss. Then you lose to the Rams. And you lose to the Colts. And you probably lose to the Jets on the road.
Wow.
That might puts you at 10-6.
Wow, you're tough.
I'm telling you, I just don't think Pittsburgh's defense at 17th in the league in points allowed is going to be able to win this division. This is a great division, by the way. Both the Norths are phenomenal.
Okay, so we lost Brown and we lost Bell, two of the best players arguably on this team. Yet we
But I
lost.
think that's addition by subtraction. That's helpful.
Yeah, I'm saying that helped. And I think we're going to be better because of it. We're no distractions, and I think our defense has improved a lot this year with Devin Bush. I think we now have a clear focus of what we want to do. Um, and I'm looking at the schedule. I agree with you. We're going to lose to New England. We can't play in the first game of the season. I think we're going to beat Seattle. I don't. Seattle's weak this year. I don't see them. I think they'll be fine.
Seattle. I still think, and we'll cover Seattle at the very end of the video, but I think that Russell Wilson is still probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. Well, Russell Wilson's a phenomenal quarterback.
Yeah, I will agree with you with that. Yeah, I just going to a West Coast or the East Coast as your, if you're a West Coast team is really hard. And that's why I'm giving Pittsburgh the loss against 49ers. They can't go in. They're still bad going West Coast, as you saw. They were 0-4 last year in the AFC West. I'm giving them that loss to the 49ers. Obviously, they're going to sweep the Bengals. They're going to split the Ravens. I think they're going to sweep the Browns, beat the Colts, beat the Dolphins. Maybe I think the Chargers game can go either way. Lose to the Rams, beat the Bills, maybe beat the Cardinals.
No, they'll beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals are bad this year.
Beat the Jets. I see Pittsburgh winning this division. I think they're a sleeper team to watch. I honestly do.
Who?
The Steelers.
Steelers are. I don't think the Steelers are at 10-6. They should get a wild card because right now it's better than the Jets. So right now I have New England in the playoffs, Cleveland in the playoffs, and then probably Pittsburgh, and then we'll see who the other three teams are.
Yeah.
But okay, so then my first place and your first place are
a little bit different.
My first place is the Browns at 11-5. I think the Browns are going to lose to the Rams. I think they're going to split with the Steelers. I think they're going to lose to the Pats.
Who is this?
The Browns.
The Browns, all right.
Again, they're going to split with the Steelers, split with the Steelers, lose to the Pats, lose to the Rams. I could see them losing to the Niners on the road. I think that's gonna be a tough one, and I could also see them losing. I don't know. Maybe end of the year they got the division locked up. They don't really care, and they lose to the Bengals in that last game.
I don't care. Maybe. I
mean, it's an 11-5.
I don't see. Maybe.
The Browns have a very easy schedule.
If
you look at their schedule, it's very easy. They should cruise by most of the teams. Me giving them a fifth loss is actually very difficult. Looking at their schedule, they could easily go 12-4 in my opinion. But I'm going to put them at 11-5 because this is a new team and all.
You say they're going to do what with the Patriots?
They're going to lose to the Patriots.
All right.
They're going to lose to the Patriots.
You don't go into Foxborough and just come out with a win.
Well, you said the Chiefs were, which I think is ridiculous. I do not think the Chiefs can win at Foxborough. That might have been the most ridiculous thing that I've heard all day. But I mean, you have my problem is the whole Freddie Kitchens being a head coach. I'm not big into that.
AFC South, I would love.
This might be one of the second worst division of football. This is a horrendous division of IPA.
One of these divisions where someone just has to win.
Yeah. In last place for me is Jacksonville.
Yep.
And I think they're going to be pretty bad. I think they're going to go 4-12. Okay. I know the whole, a lot of people in Philadelphia, they like the Nick Foles, but he's not a starter. He's not an NFL starter. And this team's going to go 4-12. They're going to lose to the Chiefs. They're probably going to split with the Titans and the Texans. So that puts them at 3 losses. They're probably going to get swept by the Colts. That's 5 losses. They'll lose to the Saints. That's 6 losses. They'll lose to the Chargers. That's 7. They'll lose to the Falcons. That's 8. They'll lose to the Jets. That's 9. They'll lose to the Panthers probably. That's 10. Who knows? By the end of the year, the Raiders probably can beat them at home. That's 11.
I think the Raiders.
At home. By the end of the year, the Raiders can beat them. By the end of the year, the Raiders can beat them.
I think the Raiders are going to be the new Steelers.
The Steelers, if I'm not mistaken, the Steelers have been a playoff team for like the last.
Well, last year's Steelers team.
Yeah, but Le'Veon Bell did not play on last year's Steelers team, if you don't remember. And by the way, Juju Smith-Schuster was the one that cost him the playoff spot last year.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Juju Smith-Schuster was the one that dropped the ball in the Metrodome.
Yeah.
Superdome, what the hell you want to call it. There's a million fucking domes.
Yeah.
They lost in the New Orleans Dome. Juju Smith-Schuster dropped the ball. I was watching on a flat screen television, so I saw the play. It was actually like a great game, honestly. It was one of my favorite games of the year.
Oh, I knew full well we weren't coming out of that game alive.
But yeah, I think Jacksonville's going to go 4-12, in my opinion. And I think that puts them in last place in this division.
Yeah, second to last, I'm giving it to Tennessee.
You're going Tennessee in last place?
No, second to last.
Oh yeah, third place, I'm also going Tennessee, and I'm putting them at 5-11 because again, I don't think they're that much better than the Jaguars. They're gonna split with the Jaguars, and they'll probably get swept by. No, they'll split with Houston, and they'll split with Houston. That puts them at 2 losses. They'll get swept by the Colts. The Colts could easily come out of this division with 5 wins. They'll lose to the Browns. They'll lose to the Falcons. They'll lose to the Chargers. They'll lose to the Chiefs. They'll lose to the Raiders on the road. I don't think that's a winnable game. They'll lose to the Saints. But this team will not. This team will go 5-11. They will not succeed.
I agree with you on that.
I mean, Titans. They had a nice 9-win season last year, and you do have that reemergence of Derek Howard, but they added all these veterans that are they're kind of like recovering from injury. You have Jeffrey Simmons, who's recovering from a torn ACL. You added Cameron Wake, Adam Humphries.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there.
When it comes for my second and first place teams, this is how I see this schedule going. I see I see Houston having a hot start, and I see Indianapolis have a slow start. But I see at the end of the season, it reverses where Indianapolis gets hot and Jacksonville cools off. So I can see this 1-2.
I actually think Indy's going to win this division pretty easily. My only thing is Indy's going to have a rough time if Andrew Luck. Here's the thing. Indianapolis is a lot like my team, the Green Bay Packers. Without their quarterback, they're an 8-18.
Yeah.
7-9. They're really not that great. But then you throw in that Andrew Luck or that Aaron Rodgers, and guess what? They're 11-5. They just gained 4 wins with that star quarterback, the Indianapolis Colts. And again, I think the Houston Texans, I haven't covered them yet. I think they're going to go at 8-8.
They're both having really tough schedules.
I would assume Indy and Houston do not have easy schedules.
They do not.
Houston has a first place schedule, and Houston's. I'm not on this whole Deshaun Watson train. I'm not gonna lie. Deshaun Watson is not like the greatest thing in my opinion.
No, because you've seen him in playoffs. You've seen how he's been in playoff time.
So Houston, in my opinion, Houston's gonna lose 3 games in the division. They're gonna split with everybody.
Yeah.
And then they'll lose to the Saints. That's 4. They'll lose to the Chargers. That's 5. Chiefs 6. Patriots. That's 7. And
I can easily see they can lose to the Texans. They can lose to the Ravens.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Maybe the Ravens or maybe the Falcons. But the Falcons are at home.
Yeah.
So probably the Ravens.
I was a fan of Deshaun Watson. I really was. But I've seen his playoff record, and I don't see any hope for them. And I'm living in Houston, and I've talked to a lot of people, and they don't see Deshaun as a future. They really don't. They want a new quarterback down here, because you can't have a quarterback that does pretty well in regular season and then just completely shit the bed during postseason.
I mean, Bill O'Brien is 1-3 in the playoffs all the time. Houston's terrible in the playoffs, but in my opinion, Houston's not even going to make the playoffs this year. This is an 8-8 team, in my opinion. Good. They're average. Okay, this is not a great team. Deshaun Watson. Here's my problem with Deshaun Watson. They're going to keep Deshaun Watson. So this whole I want to do quarterback thing is not happening. Deshaun Watson will remain in Houston.
Oh yeah, because
they invested in this man. But here's the problem. They have probably one of the best defense. This defense is never healthy. We've seen maybe the whole time that Jadeveon Clowney's been drafted, I've maybe seen 1 or 2 games where him and J.J. Watt have played on the same line. And I remember in that 1 or 2 games, the quarterback got sacked like 5 times, maybe 6 times. That can be every game, almost every game. But these guys cannot stay healthy. It's just this defense cannot stay healthy, and Deshaun Watson is not. He's not a. He's not a great thrower. Honest to God, he's like a. I don't even. I can't tell you what his completion percentage is. I would assume it's around 60%, which is not great for the NFL. It's not what you need to be a lot higher than 60% to make it in this league, in my opinion. It's just his mobileness has helped him so much. But that offensive line is just beyond miserable down there.
And who are you going to throw to? DeAndre Hopkins? All right, then what happens when he gets double teamed? You honestly can expect like Stephen Mitchell, Vincent Smith, Terrell Johnson, anyone to step up. In my opinion, I don't see that. And you can't rely on Lamar Miller to run the ball too.
I really like the Colts, but the rest of this division is just
Absolutely dumb.
terrible.
Yeah. AFC West?
Okay, AFC West has two very good teams and two very bad teams. In my opinion.
Yes.
I think Denver and Oakland are both going to go 5-11, and I think that's going to be third and fourth place in this division.
Who you said? Denver and Oakland? Yep, I agree with that. Same as last year.
Denver and Oakland, 5-11.
Yep.
And then I don't really want to even talk about Oakland and Denver. I mean, the Raiders, they have 6 new offensive starters. You brought in Antonio Brown. You brought in Josh Jacobs. They have 6 new defensive starters, including 2 first-round draft picks. Now you just got to bring all those pieces together. More importantly, you got to bring them together off the field. I've been watching Hard Knocks, and it does look like Antonio Brown is kind of an outcast right now in this training camp. But that could just be something I've noticed. I've also noticed that John Gruden and Derek Carr do not have the best relationship, in my opinion. I just don't think John Gruden's a big fan of Derek Carr's play. But that could just be me. I feel like I've noticed that. And then with Denver, you have Joe Flacco. So I just don't think that they're going to be able to do much with Joe Flacco. I do think they're going to have to stick to that defensive and running game if they want to win. They have a really talented defense. They brought in Coach Nick Fangio, I believe, as his first name. I know his last name's Fangio. And he was excellent in Chicago with the 3-4 scheme. But it's really just the shaky quarterback in Denver that makes me say 5-11.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I see Denver going last place. I see Oakland maybe second to last place. I don't think Antonio Brown's going to help that much, especially with how he was last year in Pittsburgh. And you look at their schedules, and you can't help to think that in a perfect world, this is not that hard of a schedule for the Broncos. Obviously, you have to play the Chiefs twice, and you got to play the Chargers twice. So that's 4 losses right there.
I mean, in my opinion, so the Chargers and the Chiefs automatically get 4 wins, and then they'll probably split with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that right off the bat puts them at 5 wins, and then I think both of those teams are gonna. I'll talk about them in a second, but they're both going to have very good years, in my opinion.
Yeah. Second place for me is going to be the Chargers. I think they're coming off of a very good year last year, and I don't see any reason why they can't do it again. I think the only thing that's stopping them is obviously the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think they could easily lose 2 to 3 games this year. I think the best games of the years is going to be the 2 games against the Chiefs, the Steelers, maybe the Packers, and probably the Vikings. I think those will be their best games. And I think it hurts that the Chiefs have to go to Kansas City week 17. Because I think if they're fighting for a wild card spot, that's definitely going to hurt them.
Who, the Chargers?
Yeah, because they got to go to the Chiefs week 17.
Yeah, but I think the Chargers are okay. In my opinion, the Chargers are going to go 12-4. Chargers are going to go 12-4, and they're not going to win this division. It's fucking insane when you think about it. They're going to go 12-4, which is better than the Colts, and it's better than the Browns, my 2 other division winners besides the Pats and the Chiefs. I think the Chargers are going to go 12-4 and be only in second place just because of how good the Chiefs are. I have the Chiefs at 14-2. I think the Chiefs are insane. I think their only 2 losses are coming to the Chargers and to the Patriots. Those are the only 2 losses I see on their schedule, in my opinion. I think they're going to beat the Jaguars. They're going to sweep the Raiders. They'll beat the Ravens. They'll beat the Lions. They'll beat the Colts, even though I think that could be a very good game. They'll beat the Texans. They'll beat the Broncos. Sadly, I do think they're going to beat Green Bay. I don't think Green Bay is going to go into Arrowhead and win. I think it's ridiculous. Nobody's going into Arrowhead and win. They're going to beat the Vikings. They're going to beat the Titans. They're going to split the Chargers. Sweep the Raiders. Lose to the Pats. Going into Soldier Field, That's going to be a very tough game. Late December, 3 days before Christmas, going into Soldier Field is no easy task for anybody. Even Aaron Rodgers, who goes there once a year, would not say going into Soldier Field 3 days before Christmas is an easy task. So maybe they go 13-3. But I personally think the Chargers are going to go 14-2. 14-2 because again, the Bears' offense is just miserable. So I say the Chiefs go 14-2. Chargers go 12-4. I think it's a great division. Besides
The last two teams, it's very top heavy, and I do agree with you. I'm gonna look at I'm just pulling up the Chiefs' schedule right now.
They have 3 tough games, or they have 4 tough games.
Obviously gonna beat the Jaguars. Ravens will not be that big of a. I think it'll be a first half game, and then it'll be the doors will be blown off in the second half. Raiders win. Colts will be a good game to watch. Texans will be a first half good game, and then the Chiefs will blow the doors off. Broncos boring. I do think the Packers Chiefs game will be a pretty good game. I think the Vikings Chiefs will be a majority of a good game, and I think if the Vikings are the team that I think they will be, I think they'll demolish themselves. Chargers Chiefs again, that'll be another fun game to watch. Patriots Chiefs, I think that will be one of the games of the year. And then like you said, yeah, Bears Chiefs. I still will give that to the Chiefs. I'm not really giving up that. I know it's hard to go into Soldier Field wherever you go, but I still see the Chiefs coming out of it alive with a win. And then Chargers Chiefs, again, that would be another great game week 17 because so much is going to be on the line. Depending on, it's especially for the Chargers, maybe not for the Chiefs.
Definitely. So now let's switch gears over to the NFC. And I say we start in the NFC East, which is a miserable division. When I say it's a miserable division, I say it's a miserable division. But, in my opinion, the NFC East has the best team in the league. If Carson Wentz stays healthy, in my opinion, the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the National Football League. And I'm not a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I actually kind of despise the Philadelphia Eagles. I find them to be quite annoying. But I do believe this is probably the best team in the league. That's in a very experienced, veteran, Super Bowl winning roster. Great receiving core with Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey. Great running game with the rookie Miles Sanders out of Penn State, who, trust me, is going to be quite good at the NFL level. Plus, you already have Corey Clemente, brought in Jordan Howard from Chicago. It's a great offensive line with Jason Peters. Great defense with Malcolm Jenkins, and a very talented secondary. Eagles might have the best roster in the NFC, probably the NFL. Chiefs could definitely compete with them though, but I do think the rest of this division is completely terrible. I think this has to be besides the AFC South, this is the worst division of football.
Oh, I agree. I think Philadelphia, and you look at their schedule, it's pretty easy. You're going to get a win against the Redskins, against the Falcons, against the Lions. Packers.
You're going to sweep the Giants and the Redskins.
Yeah. And
you could sweep the Cowboys.
Depending on Zeke. It depends on Zeke. I say if Zeke comes back, they might get a run for their money, but I still say the Eagles are going to win this division by 2 to 3 games.
Yeah, and I think they get 5 out of 6 wins in this division.
Where it gets tough for me is New England and against New England, but you're playing home, and New England can't play on the road, so I'm giving that to the Eagles.
I think they're going to lose to Chicago, though. I think Chicago is going to go into Philly, and I think they're going to win. I think they're going to have that revenge factor on them or something.
Yeah.
I think they're going to win, and I think that the Eagles are going to lose to the Packers. And this isn't even just like me saying that. I've heard it from Eagles fans, too. The Eagles have never succeeded against Aaron Rodgers. They never have. Aaron Rodgers has always played well versus Philadelphia. Plus, you have to go into Lambeau at night. That's no easy task for any team in the league. It's no easy task to go into Lambeau during the day. They do get to go there earlier in the year where it's not as cold. It's in September, so it's a bit of an advantage for the Eagles. But it's still not easy going into Lambeau. And they've, again, always struggled versus the Packers. So I think the Eagles are going to go but I think the Eagles are going to go like 12-4. Maybe lose the Bears, lose the Packers, maybe lose one of the Cowboys.
And then, maybe the Vikings. I would.
Oh, don't they play the Rams?
Nope.
That doesn't make sense. Wouldn't they have to play a first-place schedule?
Then win division.
They didn't win the division last year, yeah. I completely forgot. They didn't win the division last year. But I think they're going to lose to the Patriots. I do.
Really?
I think they're going to lose to the Patriots.
I can't. The Patriots don't play well on the road. I cannot see. If it's depending on Carson Wentz is healthy. If this team is healthy, then they're winning the division and going far into the playoffs. If Carson Wentz is not healthy, I'm sorry, Eagles fans, but it looks like it's going to be another Cowboys rule again.
No, I don't think the Cowboys win this division. I think the Cowboys go like 10-6. I can't even tell you if that's good enough for a playoff spot in the NFC. The NFC is loaded.
Oh yeah.
The NFC, besides, okay, here's the bad. There's only a few teams in the NFC that cannot make the playoffs. Redskins can't make the playoffs.
Detroit.
Detroit can't make the playoffs. Tampa can't make the playoffs, and Arizona can't make the playoffs. That's 5 teams that can't make the playoffs. All the other 10 teams are in contention.
And if you're not in the AFC, if you're not the division winner, and with an exception, maybe 1 or 2 wildcard teams, the majority is not making the playoffs.
Yeah, majority of the AFC is weak. The NFC is loaded. And there is amazing quarterbacks. The NFC is loaded with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You have Rodgers. You have Wentz. You have Drew Brees. You had
Goff.
Yeah, Goff. You have Russell Wilson. You have Cam Newton. You have Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people don't like Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo, from what I've seen from him when he's not injured, is a decent quarterback.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins, if you're playing him Sunday at 1 o'clock, he's good. Any other time, I wouldn't put any money on him. But Sunday at 1 o'clock,
oh yeah.
watch out for Kirk Cousins. No, this is a very good NFC. And the AFC, I'm not saying the AFC is bad quarterbacks. The AFC is just top heavy quarterbacks. There's no middle ground in the AFC.
Yeah. For me, the division is going to go Giants. Maybe Giants, Redskins. I don't know. I can flip.
I think Redskins are going to be in dead last. I don't think the Giants are going to be as bad as people think they're going to be. I think Saquon Barkley, they're going to outrun the shit out of him. And he's going to give them a nice 7-9 record.
I see them lose. I'm going to the Giants schedule right now. They're going to lose to the boys. They're going to beat the Bills.
They're going to split with the boys, probably.
Yeah.
They'll probably sweep the Skins on.
They probably. I think they're going to split the Skins. They're going to lose to the Vikings, lose to the Patriots, lose to the Bears, lose to the Packers, lose to the Eagles, and then they're going to get swept by the Eagles.
I could easily see them winning that Week 17 game, though. Because if the Eagles have the division locked up, they're not going to be starting enough starters.
That's true.
So I could easily see the Giants being they should be a 6-10 team, but they have to pity win.
But then again, you also they may not start. They may still start their starters in hopes of getting a first round bye, because you still got LA and you still got New Orleans getting for it.
In the NFC is, I'm so excited. Like right now, I have so many things jumbling in my mind. I cannot wait to talk with the NFC North because I am so excited for football.
Let's move on to the NFC North.
Okay, so the NFC North, this is my division, okay? But I am quite okay. All you guys are on this whole Bears train. I'm not feeling this whole Bears train. I don't know where you guys all got this idea the Bears are a great team. The Bears really aren't that good. The Packers were losing 21-0 on Sunday Night Football. I don't know if you were watching Week 1 last year. Aaron Rodgers got hurt by Khalil Mack, who the Packers could have gotten, but they don't like to make moves because they're a weak organization. But we don't talk about that. But they could have had Khalil Mack, so Khalil Mack came back to bit them in the ass and injured Aaron Rodgers, and then Aaron Rodgers left. And then he came back, and they won the game. And then Aaron Rodgers, who was injured last year, had 4,000 passing yards with 26 touchdowns and 1 interception. They went 7-8-1. Not a pretty year. Not a pretty year in Green Bay whatsoever. We don't talk about it. But guess what? This is possibly the best defense Aaron Rodgers ever had. He has a great receiving. He has a decent offensive line. He has decent weapons. Guess what? Aaron Rodgers isn't a Tom Brady. He doesn't need great weapons. Okay? He's not an average. He's not your typical quarterback that needs great weapons to succeed. Aaron Rodgers can play with high schoolers, and he will find a way to win. Okay? He will find a way to win the game. Geronimo Allison, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Devontae Adams. Okay, Jordan Nelson just retired, but Jordan Nelson was not on the team last year, if you don't mind. The point is, this Packers team will not win the division. I do not believe they'll win the division. Even though I'm not on the Bears train, I still think the Bears are going to win the division. To break it to you, I love the Packers. I think the Packers are going to go, I know I'm talking all my time here with the Packers, but I'm very ready for that first night, Thursday, September 5th. Be tuning in. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give the Packers a division. I'm going to give the Packers a division at 12-4. Give the Bears an 11-5 record. Give the Vikings 10-6. And give the Lions 6-10. The Lions are terrible, and they'll probably get swept by the Bears and Packers, and they'll probably sweep the Vikings. Also, I'm not scared of the Vikings. Everybody thinks the Vikings are in this division. In my opinion, they're not really in it. Their offense is nothing to be scared of. Green Bay has the best defense they've had in 15 years. and Chicago has possibly a top 5 defense in the league. And not gonna lie, Detroit has a great defense. Their offense is miserable, and they won't be able to do anything because that offense is miserable. Their O line might be garbage. Matt Stafford got sacked 4 times today and joined practice with music. They are a miserable franchise. But yeah, I feel bad for Detroit, honestly. But no, Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers, everybody's saying they're not friends. That's complete BS. They're fine. I don't know. You guys are all getting this crazy idea that they hate each other. They love each other. They're good friends. They you know, they have dinner every night. They're good guys. You know, they love each other. You know. But yeah, point is, Packers are gonna win this division at 12-4. Bears 11-5. Watch them split. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised.
Wait, you said the Packers or the Bears winning this division?
I said Packers in the division. I said Packers in the division.
All right. So, in my opinion, last year was a fluke with Aaron Rodgers, and Nick, you should back me up that Aaron Rodgers did not have a good year last year, and he was injured. And I think
Here's the thing. He did have a bad year, but it's a bad year for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
For any other quarterback, that's a career year.
So, I think as how long that Aaron Rodgers is going to be on this Packers roster is no one's going to win this division but the Packers as long as Aaron Rodgers is on this team. And I don't care that the Bears have a great defense. I think the Packers are solid. I think the Packers are winning this division. I think the Vikings will get second. I think they're good. I think the Vikings are going to be good this year, but not compared to Green Bay. I think Green Bay will be just on another level that we haven't seen them on, and I think they could be potentially a Super Bowl contending team, in my opinion. But obviously, the Vikings have a great offense, but when it comes down to prime time, I don't like Kirk Cousins. I really don't. And the Vikings don't have a lot of primetime games. If we're looking at their schedule here, you got the Falcons, you got the Packers, 1 o'clock. You only have a 3:20. You got a 4:25 game against the Bears. You got a Thursday night game against the Redskins, but that's a game you should easily beat. Sunday night against the Cowboys, again, another game you should easily win. Monday night at the Seahawks, I can see them losing that one. Sunday night against the Chargers, it's a loss. Monday night against the Packers. But majority of these games are 1 o'clock, so I see the Vikings doing pretty well, and their defense still hasn't given me reasons to give up on them. But I see and obviously, like you said, the Detroit Lions are just absolutely miserable on offense. They need something to get them kickstarted with. Whatever they have right now is not working. And again, I don't like the Bears' offense. I like their defense. I'm not convinced with their offense enough to get them second place in this division.
The Bears don't have Doc quarterbacks. The
Exactly.
Vikings don't have Doc quarterbacks. Okay, that doesn't even make sense because the Vikings don't do the Bears thing. But the point is, no one in this division has a quarterback. The Packers have a quarterback, and that's going to.
They have a team. They have a full, complete team.
That is true.
I just like the wide receivers on the Vikings. You got Diggs, you got Thielen, you got Rudolph, I just like this. I like the wide receivers, and Kirk Cousins. If he gets his crap together, I think he will be fine.
Yeah, I think I just don't like. Yeah, the point is I don't like. I wouldn't bet money on anybody but the Packers.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like the other quarterbacks in this division.
NFC South, I think the clear winner is going to be New Orleans here.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it's a great division, but New Orleans.
I'm trying to pull up their schedule right now, but Cam Newton has something to prove. Jameis Winston has something to prove. Matt Ryan else doesn't really. But New Orleans, there should be no reason why you shouldn't win this game. The hardest game you'll have to play is week 2 against the Rams. At the Rams. A game you should have won. That should be a revenge game. And
I gotta stop hearing about that though. That's all they talk about. It actually annoys me. You gotta go out and you gotta win football games here. You gotta shut the fuck up about this whole pass interference.
Oh yeah.
What? The pass interference thing was like almost 9 months. We're getting I think it was like 7 months ago. It's gonna be 8 when the season starts. Okay, we gotta shut up. I don't care about it. It's over. You're done. See you next year. Let's go. Move on.
On that point, was this a bad call? Yeah. Did you cost you the game? Yeah. You can move on from it. Get revenge. That's why this game is so important to them. It should be a revenge game. Don't bring up the past game. Just move on with it. Because I'm willing to bet you that if they don't do well this season, it's because they're going to be complaining about that call.
Yeah, these fans don't shut up about it. It's like, shut up, guys. You lost one game. And I gave us an NFC conference. Guess what? We all had bad calls. Guess what? Colts got screwed worse than you. The balls were fucking deflated. the Colts had an MVP Andrew Luck. I don't know if the Colts would have beaten the Seahawks. Was it the Seahawks?
No, the Patriots. Oh yeah, it was the Seahawks. Yeah.
Yeah, the Seahawks. The year that the Packers couldn't beat the Seahawks. Yeah, we don't talk about that, but we don't have it in the show. It could have been Colts Packers. Andrew Luck versus Aaron Rodgers, my two favorite quarterbacks. Not the point. But no, point is, so yeah, everybody gets bad calls. Got to move on from it. That's all I had to say. I mean, just got to move on.
I think Carolina has something to prove. They're coming off of a terrible year last year, and you're opening up a hard game against the Rams. Luckily, you're home against that game, but it's still not easy to get a win.
I think Carolina. I think Carolina's go 8-8. I think New Orleans. I think Atlanta's gonna go 9-7.
And then you got Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and Tampa Bay's gonna go like 4-12. Okay, here's the thing. Tampa Bay this year. This could have been the year that Tampa turned things around. They went like 7-9, 8-8. The Raymond Jamer, the players got rejuvenated next year. A game versus the Saints actually meant something for the first time. Gruden was the coach. Could have meant something. But guess what? No. We're going to keep Jameis Winston. He's still going to be our quarterback. They have a great young defense. They have a great receiver in Mike Evans. But they have this guy at quarterback that's not good at all. Jameis Winston, not an NFL quarterback. First 2 or 3 years, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, keep him. Year 4 or whatever, it was just like, no, get him out. This isn't working. This experiment's not working.
Yeah, and you have Fitzmagic, or with parentheses, Fitzmagic, who absolutely.
Fitzmagic went to Miami.
Yeah, what am I thinking? Jesus Christ. No, but this is a team that, again, will be in last place. And their schedule is not the easiest, in my opinion.
And the thing is, I kind of feel bad because I always kind of have a soft spot for the Buccaneers. I've been to their stadium. I've seen them play before in person. So, any team that I've seen at their stadium, especially in the NFL, where I've only really been to 4 stadiums, kind of have a soft spot in your heart. So Tampa, I don't know. I like the Tampa teams. I like the Rays. I like the Bucks. Kind of like the Bolts. I'm not a big fan of the Bolts. I feel like they're winning a little too much. Gotta lose. Once you lose, I start liking you again. But no, I'm a big fan of the Bucks and the Rays. So I always want the Bucks to succeed, but they're. By the way, if this means anything, their uniforms are also one of the ugliest things I've ever seen on planet Earth. But not the point. Yeah, the point is Jameis Winston is not an NFL quarterback. So we hope maybe they go 4-12 this year. They go low pick, and they're able to snag someone in the draft.
Yeah. NFC West. Obviously, it's going to be the Raiders. It's going to be not the Raiders, Jesus Christ. It's going to be the Rams.
Yeah, it's in the Rams division, but
for me, it's the second place team.
There's a wild card in this division, maybe. No, there's not a wild card in this division. No, I think Seattle and San Francisco both go like 9-7. Rams go 12-4. Cardinals go 4-12.
For me, it's who gets second place in this division, and it's either going to be San Francisco or it's going to be Seattle. I like San Francisco. I've said this from the beginning. I like Garoppolo. Yes, he's been injured. We haven't seen him play a full season yet. When he comes back this year, I'm very excited to see him play. I think he's still good. I think he's good enough to be a starting quarterback on an NFL team. I think he could take this team. Not yet. I don't think he can take him to a playoff run, but in a couple of years, I think he's definitely able to.
Oh, definitely a couple of years. When maybe the Rams, I don't know, maybe the Rams like fall off a cliff, because right now the Rams are paying lots of money to guys like they paid Brandon Cooks a really big contract. Like I think they're paying him like 18, 19 million a year or something like that, and I was like, no, guys, you paid Brandon Cooks way too much. It's gonna hurt you in the long run. Just like the Cowboys about to get bit in the ass when they paid Dak 30.
Yeah.
Zeke 19. They're gonna pay. No, they're gonna pay Dak like 34. Dak 34. Zeke like 15, 16, and Amari like 20. Like they're gonna get their cap's gonna get destroyed. Their defense and O-line are going to get depleted very fast. But not the point. The point is, yeah, this division is gonna be very good in a very short amount of time. I like the Cardinals. The Cardinals are going to be running the air raid offense, something you see a lot at the college level, which is why they're running it. They have a college coach. They have a college a rookie quarterback, a rookie coach. Guys that have always been in college. So they've always ran the air raid defense. Let me tell you, there's not many teams in this league that have that have the ability to run the air raid the air raid. I think I've been saying air raid defense. I meant air raid offense. They don't have the ability. Most teams in this league don't have the ability for reasons. You can only run the air raid in dry areas. It has to be warm. It has to be nice outside. Guess what? Cardinals play 8 of their games in a temperature, climate-controlled dome, and they play 2 games a year in California. So that's 10 games where you can run the air raid offense. But in a few years, when the Cardinals make the playoffs, and they have to go into a Chicago, or they have to go into a Green Bay, or a Philly, maybe in New York, maybe the Giants are good by then. Guess what? You can't run the air raid defense, or you can't run the air raid offense in cold cities. You can't throw the ball in the cold. You can't do it. It's not easy. It's not easy to throw. It's not easy to be throwing 30-yard bombs in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Not easy. They can do it in Arizona. They can do it in California. I don't know where else they play this year, but I know they have to play 8 games at home, and I know they have to play 2 games in California. So you can run 10 games of the air raid offense, and you can probably win. If you're running your offense, you can probably win 5-6 games if you're running your offense. The problem is going to be those other 8 games where they don't play in an area they can run their offense, and they have to switch up their game plan. They have to run more. But I'm really excited for the Cardinals in a few years when they're running that air raid offense and they're winning 10, 11 games a year.
Yeah. All right. I think the Seahawks is going to be a team that's going to have to prove something to me. And they have a tough schedule this year. If you look at it, they're opening their season up against the Bengals. I think that's a win. They got to go to Pittsburgh. I say it's a loss. They're playing Saints. That's a loss. That's a back-to-back losses. You'll get a win against the Cardinals. You'll lose to the Rams. You got to play the Browns. I would give that a loss. Maybe the Ravens, I'd give that a win. Falcons, I'd give that a win. Bucks win. Niners loss. Eagles loss. Vikings loss. Rams loss. Panthers win. Cardinals win. 49ers win.
That was who was that, the Seahawks?
This is the Seahawks. So this is going to be a very tough team to make the playoffs. I see them missing out on the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I'm the wild card. Okay, so let me give you the wild cards for both leagues right now. So in the AFC, the teams that are making the playoffs are the Pats as the AFC East champion, the Browns as the AFC North champion, the Colts as the AFC South champion, and the Chiefs as the AFC West champion. And I think the Chargers and the Steelers get the 2 wild cards.
All right.
So I don't know. I think we're going to have pretty similar playoffs besides the Browns. I don't know if you're going to mix them out with maybe the Jets or someone, but I think otherwise, I think the AFC is pretty easy to pick. I
give you the two given division winners is New England and Kansas City. I say Kansas City will get the 1.
I don't think Kansas City is a given division winner because if something goes wrong with Kansas City, the Chargers can easily swoop in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kansas City's an automatic. I think New England's an automatic because I don't think that division's ready yet.
And I think Indianapolis is automatic.
I think Indianapolis is an automatic.
Unless I'm just worried about Luck's ankle. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
His calf and his ankle. Luck's a guy you always need to be concerned about because he's always injured. You always gonna be concerned for Andrew Luck. And
if he's sitting out 2 to 3 games and he lose 2 to 3 games, if Houston has their stuff together, they can easily take over that division. But then come playoff time, you don't have to worry because then they lose. But I give New England obviously a playoff, and they're gonna get a bye. I honestly see Kansas City and New England 1 and 2. I see Pittsburgh 3, and maybe Indianapolis 4. Or you can switch them out. Wild cards. Chargers will get the 5. Maybe Cleveland can get the 6, but I maybe see Houston getting the 6.
I couldn't. No. You can't give Houston the spot with Cleveland. Cleveland has a quarterback. They have to bring it to Baker Mayfield, an NFL quarterback. Deshaun Watson can't throw. He can't throw. I don't know.
I think we're overhyping Cleveland. I really do. Because that's what
we're definitely overhyping Cleveland. I completely agree. But there's a reason we're overhyping Cleveland. They finally have a team that's going to win, that's going to have over 500 record for the first time in the history of their franchise. This team went 0-16 2 years ago, and they have the possibility to go as high as 11-5, as low as they're really not going to get much lower than 8-8. 0-16 just 2 years ago.
Yeah, I
don't know.
And you're just and we're adding OBJ
and Jarvis Landry.
Yeah,
and I think Myles Garrett. I think he's a severe threat on the defense. I think we've seen it. I think we know for a fact this is his 3rd year in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Dominant. I mean, he's a severe threat on defense. Plus, Baker's first full year. Remember, if we don't remember, Baker really didn't start until that Thursday night football game. And then even after that Thursday night football game, Hugh Jackson didn't automatically put him right back out there. They were still very cautious with him.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh Jackson's not a big fan of Baker. But I mean, Baker. I mean, you saw those 2 games versus Cincinnati. Not saying Cincinnati's a great team to take notes
Yeah.
from, but he just dominated. He threw like 6 touchdowns and like 900 plus passing yards, and he has an insane quarterback rating if you combine the 2 games.
I definitely think they're going to be in the hunt. I think Baltimore's going to skip out.
You think Baltimore's gonna get in?
No, I don't think they're going to get in.
No, okay. I was say Baltimore's in the hunt though. Baltimore will be in.
I think Baltimore will be the last man out. And
I think the Jets will be the last man out.
I don't think the Jets are going to be as good as we think. I think the Browns are going to be better than the Jets.
I have 9-7. I think that's realistic.
I think it could be realistic. I just don't. I think Le'Veon's not gonna have a good year this year, and he's a patient runner. And the Steelers had a really great offensive line that was able to create holes, and I don't see that with the Jets' offensive line right now. I don't see that.
Are you gonna give it to the Browns or the Texans for that last spot?
I think you could interchange between the Browns and the Texans. I'm still gonna give it to the Texans as of right now.
And then the NFC, I think we had all the same division winners, right?
Yep.
Philly, Green Bay,
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans, and the Rams. And then the two wild cards to me are going to go. The first one's going to go to Chicago, in my opinion. And then I think the second one will go. With Zeke. I think it goes to Dallas. Without Zeke, okay, this is huge. I think you guys understand how. You have to understand. Without Zeke, this team can go 5-11.
Yep.
This team can be really bad without Zeke. This team can lose this division completely without Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
But with Zeke, I think this team is the second wild card in the NFC. Without Zeke, I give the second wild card to give it to Carolina. No, you know what? I can't believe I'm about to say this. Give it. Yeah. You know what? Give it to Minnesota. Give it to Minnesota. Give the second. Have the NFC North get half the teams in the playoffs. No, not that. I'll give it to Carolina. Minnesota. That's unrealistic. Can't put teams in the same division club. Give it to Carolina. I'll be a bit more realistic. Give it to Carolina. Second wild card, Carolina. Get in the playoffs. Get destroyed in the first round by probably Philadelphia.
I think New Orleans is still going to get enough to get the 1. I think if you have a healthy Wentz, Philadelphia could get the 2, and maybe LA will get the 3. But then you still got Green Bay, and I don't think Green Bay is bad enough to get the 4. So that's where it's tough for me.
I think Green Bay gets the 4. I think that's pretty realistic, actually. Play Chicago in the wild card.
With Zeke,
I think with or without Zeke is such a huge difference.
Yeah. With Zeke, I could see. With Zeke and a non-healthy Wentz, I'm going to be bold enough to say that the Cowboys win that division. But
I don't think the Cowboys. Because I still think the Cowboys are a 10-win team. With or without Zeke, they're a 10-win. No, without Zeke, they're like a 5-win team. But with Zeke, they're still 10-win, maybe 11. But I still think Philly's like 12-4. I think Philly's 12-4. I don't think Dallas is going to get that high.
No, with Zeke and without Wentz. With Wentz, it's non-healthy.
Wentz doesn't get injured until December. They've already clinched their spot in the playoffs. He'll get injured week 13, week 14, and the rest of the season by that point won't even really matter. They'll be throwing out that nobody from Northwestern, and no one will really care. They're like, okay, you got injured, but they've already won.
Then they're supposed to roll over die in the first round because you're not going to start Cody Kessler or Nate Sudfeld in the playoffs and expect to go anywhere. You don't have Nick Foles. You don't have.
They won't sign anyone. There's no one to sign. That's the problem. The quarterback market is dead right now. Besides the 32 starting quarterbacks. There's no quarterback market.
I give Philadelphia, Green Bay, New Orleans, and LA. My 2 wild cards with Zeke, I think is the biggest deal. I agree with you. I'm gonna go with the case that we don't have Zeke.
Okay. So then I went with Chicago and Carolina.
Without Zeke, this is very tough.
You have to understand, without Zeke, the NFC is so much weaker.
Yeah. I really would love to give San Francisco a wild card spot.
I wanted to do it too, but I can't.
I really want to, but I just don't know I can't with their defense right now. I don't know what their defense is going to give me. I know what I can predict what their offense is going to give me, and I think it's going to be great. I just don't know with their defense, and that's why I'm hesitant. Minnesota is another one with me.
I didn't want to. That's the thing. I was thinking about it. I just can't trust.
Can't trust Kurt. I can trust their defense. I'm great with their defense. I can't trust Kirk Cousins in this offense, which is why I'm so I.
You're gonna give it to Carolina?
And I don't want to give it to. I'm not going to give it to Chicago. I could give it to Chicago. They have a great run.
Chicago's never gonna get one. Chicago's getting in the playoffs.
I. They have a great defense, and I think that could help them. I don't. I'm going to give it to Chicago.
I think it's 10-16, and I think right now 10-6 is good enough for a wild card in the NFC.
I'm giving the Bears a wild card spot because if you have Mitchell Trubisky, who can't really throw the ball, you're fine because you have David Montgomery, and he's an Iowa State man that I've seen watch for 4 years now, or 3 years because he's been in the league for 3 years. He's a great running back. And I think he's a good guy. That he's like a Le'Veon Bell. He could be used in the backfield and as a wide receiver. I'm gonna give Chicago one of this wild card spot. I'm not giving Carolina. I don't like Carolina in a wild card spot. I really don't. It's gonna be either Minnesota or San Francisco. I trust Minnesota enough to get what they need to do done, because I think defense is everything in this game. Where you could score 50 points, but if your defense gives up 52, it's useless. And I think that's the case right now with San Francisco. I think San Francisco can score a lot of points.
This is a quarterback league right now.
Yeah, but I'm not worried that the 49ers aren't going to be scoring enough points. I think they will be. I just don't trust in their defense to hold that lead. I think
the NFC is very tough once you get past the top 5.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's interchangeable.
The AFC, I can give you like I can give you the 6 teams that are going to make the playoffs, and I can probably even throw another one in there, maybe make it 7. And there's like 7, 8 teams that make the playoffs in the AFC. In the NFC, there's really only 6, maybe 7. I mean, next year or 2 years from now, it's going to be much more loaded. But, right now,
Yeah, and this is an NFC team this is going to be a great NFC team to watch. Which is why I'm really excited for football. Not only because the Pirates cannot play baseball to save their lives, but for the AFC Championship, I think for me, I'm going to give it to New England and Kansas City in the AFC. It's pretty safe to say, unless I would love to say Pittsburgh, but I'm not going to.
you go first.
I'm giving it to Kansas City and New England. I think it could either be in Arrowhead or in Foxborough. I think it's interchangeable.
I'm going to go with Kansas City, and I'm not going to go New England. Just to shock it up for everybody. I'm going to go with Kansas City.
Do not say Indianapolis.
That's what I was about to say, too.
Do not say Indianapolis.
You know what? Let me think of this. So, if the 5 seed, they would play, and they would play.
They play the 4th seed.
No, the 5. Yeah, but then if the winner would play, automatically they play the Chiefs.
Yeah. No, because if the 6th seed wins, then the 6th seed will play the.
Oh, and the Steelers could probably beat the Browns.
Oh yeah, definitely. Come playoff time, it's hard to lose in Heinz Field.
Give me Chiefs Chargers in that AFC Championship game. Give me an AFC West battle in the AFC Championship game, and give me. What am I gonna say? Give me Philip Rivers in the Super Bowl.
You need to do that.
Give me the Chargers as the AFC champion.
Really?
Chargers are good. I think we're all underestimating the Chargers. You guys are all underrated the Chargers. I'm here. I am perfectly rated the Chargers as the AFC champion.
Good. I like the Chargers. I do. I don't see them getting past New England. I really don't. I can't.
I can see the Chargers winning in New England. Philip Rivers, this man's a legend.
It couldn't do it last year. What makes you think they can do it this year?
A year of experience. The whole other year. They just played a whole year. They don't have to play the Patriots in the regular season. Am I correct?
Nope.
I thought they did. I thought it was AFC West versus AFC East.
AFC. Hold on. I don't think so. AFC West is playing the AFC East is playing the AFC North.
Oh, damn. It's too bad. It's exactly like, the Chargers have to play New England. No, point is, I think the Chargers win. They have to play the Chiefs twice anyway. In the regular season, Chiefs are better than the Patriots. It's good Arrowhead. Pretty much like going to July, except it's a bit warmer, but not really.
I say Pittsburgh is
There's no way Pittsburgh's making the AFC Championship game. I don't see Pittsburgh
Hold on.
getting past the division winner. I don't
Pittsburgh is a 3 or a 4.
Oh, but I have Pittsburgh 6. That's fine.
Do you think Pittsburgh? Okay, I have Pittsburgh 3 or 4. I think they're winning their division. So that means they're going to be playing either the. For me, they're going to either play the. If they play the Chargers in Pittsburgh, that's a game I can see them losing. If they play.
I have it as the Pats and the Chiefs getting the byes.
Yep.
Chargers. And then I have the Chargers playing. I have the Chargers playing the Colts and the Browns playing the Steelers. And I would have went. The thing is, I would have went with the Chargers or the Colts. I would have went with either one. Chargers or the Colts. I could have seen either one of them winning the AFC. I mean, here's the thing. With Andrew Luck, the Chiefs, the Colts could easily win the AFC, but you didn't want me to say Indianapolis, so I went with LA because I also really like the Chargers.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so I say Chiefs 1, Patriots 2. I can't see this. I have to say Pittsburgh 3. I cannot see Indianapolis getting a 3. And then Indianapolis with a 4.
And then your Chargers are 5.
Chargers the 5. And then maybe Tennessee, maybe not Tennessee, maybe Houston or Cleveland the 6.
I really wanted the Browns to make the AFC Championship game.
No,
play,
it's not going to happen.
And play and get destroyed by the Chiefs. But then the way my seeding was set up, I couldn't do that. I couldn't have them. The thing is, they could probably beat. They actually probably, if it was Cleveland and Pittsburgh in Cleveland, for Clap in Cleveland, in the new franchise that was created back in like 1998 or whatever, I'd probably give the Browns that game in real life. But because I think the Chargers are the team to make it, I don't think the Chargers can beat the Chiefs and the Patriots. With the Chiefs coming first and the Patriots coming second. I think they will. I mean, they have to beat the Chiefs and the Patriots. But I had to give it to the Chiefs. I had to give it to the Chargers going into. I had to have the Browns lose, but in real life, I could easily see the Browns winning that game versus Pittsburgh, and then just getting absolutely fucking manhandled by the Patriots.
So I said Steelers with the 3. So they'd play the Chiefs. Not the Chiefs. They'd play the Chargers. Pittsburgh played LA last year, and they should have won. They were the better team. They just gave up at the end. So it all depends on the defense for us. If our defense is good and is what I expect it to be, I think the Steelers can win that game. But then lose either in New England. Or if they go to New England, I can see them winning in New England in playoff time because they've already played there once. So I think they can do it again. And I think Pittsburgh has finally figured out Tom Brady. I'm going to be honest with you. I think we finally know how to play him. Which is why I'd love to say Pittsburgh could win week 1, but it's week 1 and we have flaws. So I don't see them winning that game. So I can easily see a Chiefs-Steelers. Screw it. I can see Chiefs-Steelers and Pittsburgh goes to Arrowhead.
Oh, okay. If you're doing Chiefs-Steelers, if we're being unrealistic now, I'm going Chargers. I'm going Chargers. If we're being unrealistic, I'm going fucking Chargers Browns, boys.
Okay. For me.
If we're being unrealistic, I'm going Chargers Browns. Chargers did fucking spank the Browns.
All right.
But I go Chargers Browns. If we're being unrealistic,
I can see this happening. I can see Pittsburgh make it to the AFC Championship, and they're playing at Arrowhead. Pittsburgh rules in Arrowhead. I see Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl then. I can see that.
No. They're not going to beat the Pats and the Chiefs.
We've already played the Pats once in New England, and we find.
Yo, got their ass kicked.
No. Yep. 10 minutes. Our house stuff is happening sooner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've already played New England. I think we figured out Tom Brady and how to play him, and I don't think it's that big of a difference playing in Foxborough. So I'm giving them. I see Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl.
Okay. So let's go over the NFC now. Make this quick.
Yeah.
So
realistically, right now.
I could. Okay. So I have LA as the 1. No, yeah.
I have New Orleans as the 1.
I have LA as the 1. I have New Orleans as the 2. I have Philly as the 3. Green Bay as the 4. Chicago as the 5. And the Panthers as the 6. I think the Panthers going to Philly can get smacked. I think Philly destroys the Panthers at home, and I think Philly goes on to play. They would play they would go and play the Saints in New Orleans, which is what they did last year. And then I would have at home. This is huge. Lambeau, Soldier, Packers, Bears. It's all home field. At that point, who's going to win based off home field? I give it to Green Bay, so Green Bay has to go to the LA Coliseum. And then I would have Green Bay winning in LA because LA just doesn't have a great offense. Packers do have a great defense. Aaron Rodgers is from Southern California. And here's the thing: cold teams can win in the warm. Warm teams can't win in the cold. Okay, so I would have the Packers winning, playing in the NFC Championship game, facing, in my opinion, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'd have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game because the Saints just aren't the same team they were last year. I'm not gonna lie, they're not. They're not the same team they were last year. They've lost some pieces on defense. I don't think Alvin Kamara's gonna be as good. For Brizzy or older, I don't care what I know. People say, "Oh, Tom Brady's 43." Instead, Tom Brady's a once in a lifetime type of player. You're not gonna see anybody like Tom Brady in your life. But so I think we're gonna see Packers, Eagles. It's gonna be in Philadelphia, and again, home field's gonna be the deciding factor. But then I remember something. I went back. I did a little time travel. I went back to 2011. I remember we don't have Clay Matthews, but guess what? We have Clay Matthews replacements. We have guys that are like Clay Matthews, right? I can't name them because I don't know them yet. They'll become Clay Matthews later in the year. So the Packers will go into the link and they will win and they will earn a ticket to Miami to face the Chargers, and we'll see Philip Rivers versus Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl.
Okay. I'm going to make this quick because I have to wrap it up and go. I see New Orleans getting the 1. Maybe the Eagles getting a 2, but I think LA is getting the 2. Eagles getting the 3, Packers getting the 4. Bears getting the 5, and maybe the Vikings getting the 6. And I think it's going to be Eagles Saints in the NFC Championship game. Realistically, I see New Orleans winning that in the dome or whatever they call it and I see it's going to be Chiefs Saints, and I think that'll be a good game. But I think Drew Brees is going to get his second Super Bowl ring, in my opinion.
I think honestly, I'm gonna give just like I do every year. I'm gonna give Aaron Rodgers a second ring. I've done it every year. I always give Aaron Rodgers a second ring. Let's give it the second ring for like the 10th time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up since I'm gonna go. But that's what we're gonna do for our NFL predictions. We'll go in the middle of the year. We'll go mid-week predictions, probably week 8 of what we'll look back at a video we made now and see what's gone right and what's gone wrong. And then obviously MLB is wrapping up. I got a lot of stuff to talk about with the MLB, so we'll make another video in a couple days time when I'm finally moved into the house. But till then, we'll see you guys next time.